Big Zay.
Morning, Brad.
Morning, boys. What's going on?
So we got to look at the injury report, and I get it. It's an imagined report. They did not practice yesterday, so it's a projection of who would be in and who wouldn't be in based on whether they had practice. But, man, coming off a bye week, it seemed like you were just kind of surprised, like, wow. I mean, that's quite a few injuries there, Brad. Did you expect that list to be as prominent as it was when you saw it come out?
Well, they practiced once last week during the bye, and they practiced on the Tuesday. And in that setting, I didn't see Jonah Jackson or Colston Loveland, and you were wondering about the status of Austin Booker and the guys that were on injured reserve for a potential return this week. So what really changed? I think we had two guys pop up. That's Jaquan Brisker and Kyle Monangai. Everybody else, was either in that injury status where you knew there'd probably be something for them this week, or you're not surprised. It's an ongoing thing for them. So the Brisker situation, told you guys yesterday, I didn't think it was concussion. It looks like that's a quad. Grady Jarrett, he was really hobbled on that knee when we last saw him out there on the field. But today will be a little bit more telling as they'll actually practice, so it won't be an imaginary injury report, and then you get the game designations. On Saturday, in preparation for Monday night, good news, Cairo Santos was listed as a full participant with that right thigh that flared up for him in the second half of the game in Las Vegas. And I was actually surprised to see Booker and Homer on the report. I don't think they technically have to put those guys on the injury report because they're not on the 53-man roster right now. They're still considered part of IR. But for both of them, Homer and Booker, to have a full participation was good news.
Brad, just speaking for myself, the juxtaposition of seeing Kyle Monangai's name on the injured list and Cam Scatterbo doing what he did on Thursday Night Football made me think, oh my gosh, this is another situation where the one that got away and the Bears still looking for a compliment to DeAndre Swift. And I just wonder what that is going to look like. Do you think Monday night? What's the running game going to look like? And we can't tell how injured Monangai is or isn't. Roshan Johnson, I don't know where he is or isn't, but he's not in the backfield getting carries. What do you think the state of the running game is, and what does it lack?
Well, the state of the running game is it hasn't been good enough. Scatterbo was a fourth-round pick. I don't see that guy's playing style being conducive to a long-term contract or long-term career. I'd love to be wrong. It is fun to watch, but boy, oh boy, I don't know how you keep that up in the National Football League. But the Commanders have got themselves a second-round pick at running back, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I think he goes by Bill now, which is a lot easier to say. And he was round 7 out of the University of Arizona, kind of a bizarre situation. Only played one game his senior season because of eligibility issues. Apparently, when he was at another school earlier in his college career, he was going to redshirt, and then some other player started wearing the same jersey number that he had when he had played. And so he spent pretty much all last season in Tucson practicing and watching from the sidelines, just crushed his whatever draft stock he had, but performed well at the East-West Shrine game. Washington takes him in the 7th round, and now he's become the lead back for the early in the season, but the league's number 1 ranked rushing offense. Doesn't catch the ball real well out of the backfield, but they've got guys that can do that. And late round pick that's pitching in for Dan Quinn's team.
I am curious, Brad, when we talk about different injuries, like, Grady Jarrett, you mentioned. Would that have been a veteran day off? Is he just not going to practice or not? Or if coming off missing a game and then being on does that hint at a bigger problem with his knee than anticipated?
I think it's a situation where they're trying to give him as much time down as they can. Now, again, today's practice report tells us a little bit more. Listen, he's been going at this a long time.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's the kind of player that needs an entire week of practice to be ready to strap on the shoulder pads and go at it Monday night. But they need him to get back healthy because he's got to be explosive to be the player that you're paying him to be. Like, he's not a big guy when you think of a defensive tackle. So he needs, that those athletic traits and skills that have made him a really good player for a long time in the NFL. He needs to be able to tap into those, and playing on one leg, that's not going to be possible. They're going to need the other defensive tackles to play better. Like, maybe we've moved beyond the breakthrough Gervon Dexter season stories, because it didn't happen last year, and it sure as heck didn't happen in the first quarter or so of this season. But they've got to be better on the interior to stop the run and to aid a pass rush that has been entirely underwhelming to this point.
What's the right level of confidence to place in TJ Edwards' return, and how that might improve a run defense that has been abysmal, and maybe even an overall defensive effort that needs some shoring up?
Yeah, I think TJ Edwards is the kind of guy that impacts the guys that are around him because of his intelligence, because of his ability to sort of be a coach on the field, to in the rare instance get a player lined up in the right spot. Hey, no, you got to be over here, because he's a guy that's going to be in the right spot at every time. And Noah Sewell has improved, right? He's gotten better. The number one thing he's done is he's managed to stay healthy, which we weren't able to see in his first two seasons in the league. And he's second on the team in tackles right now, is the guy that's played in TJ's absence. But I think Sewell is the guy that you want to be your third linebacker. I think he's the guy that you want to be your backup. He lacks the kind of speed and change of direction where you want him out there as a starter every Sunday. He can be exposed a little bit in pass coverage. And not that TJ's the most fleet of foot for linebackers that are out there, but a ton of experience. You're not going to fool him when he's out there. And so I would have a level of hope that TJ's return and Kyler Gordon hopefully being in the mix would improve the defense in a number of different ways.
Brad, I know that both Travis Homer and Austin Booker have a 3-week period where they can be added to the roster. I'm curious if they would have practiced full bore. Does that mean they're ready to be added to the roster? And I'm just very curious. With Travis Homer in particular, he's a special teams guy. If he comes back, what does that mean for Roschon Johnson, who is not even a backup running back, really? He's more of a special teams guy.
Yeah, Roschon's played well on special teams, though. So
okay.
I would I think he's played relatively well for them. So I would think that they would want to keep him in the mix, but I don't know. The Booker thing's going to be interesting, that because he was listed as a full participant yesterday on the, again, imagined injury report because the players were off, that's a good first step. If he gets a full today, again, I don't think he has to be on the injury report. In the past, I've asked, hey, what's the status for so-and-so, and I've told, we don't have to put him, been told, we don't have to put him on the injury report because he's still technically on IR. So seeing his name on there yesterday, you watch, it'll like disappear from the report today maybe, but that's a positive. And if Booker can look the part that he's a full participant in practice today and tomorrow, considering where their pass rush is at right now, why wouldn't you activate him? That's not something they'd have to do until 3:00 Monday afternoon. Why wouldn't you get him up knowing he's not going to give you a full game? You're not going to ask him to. Maybe you're asking him to give you 15 snaps in pass rushing situations. They need the help getting after the quarterback.
Brad, quickly before we let you go, scary Terry McLaurin did not practice Thursday for Washington. His absence or presence certainly would change the game. What do you know about that situation, and how equipped are the Bears for him if he plays, and how difference will it make if he doesn't?
Well, it's a huge difference if he can't go. You start looking at the depth chart that they've got at that position, and no McLaurin means no like big time threat. Like that's a really good player, a guy that Jaden Daniels is absolutely dialed into. If McLaurin's not out there, maybe you're seeing more action for Luke McCaffrey. Like that's kind of where it turns. Deebo Samuel has played well in a couple of the games for them, but he's a complimentary guy. You're not asking him to replace McLaurin, but sounds like he may need some more time before he's able to get back on the field. And if that's the case, that would help the Bears out in trying to slow down that Washington offense, which at times this season has been absolutely cooking. Remember, they hung like 41 or 42, I think it was, on Vegas with Marcus Mariota playing the whole game at quarterback.